Yes, a very good afternoon to the children of class 12 arts. Am I audible and visible properly, children? Now, this is the chapter number, this is maybe chapter number 7, I suppose. Yes, chapter number 7. See, this particular chapter, security in the contemporary world, children, here in this chapter, you are having only that part has been included within your syllabus, the part on terrorism. Are you there? Can you follow? Clear. It is included from the part on security in the contemporary world. And here the part which is there in your chapter is only the part on terrorism, but straight away it is not possible to start from terrorism. Before that I have to make a bit of introduction to that. Clear. So the name of the chapter is security. So before I start, what do you mean by terrorism and things like that? You know, you have to know what do you mean by security. Security means a situation where there will be no fear in one's mind. Fear of what? That there will be a kind of threat. Threat means a kind of danger where your peace, where your freedom will be endangered. Clear? So, security actually means a situation. Security actually means a situation where you will have freedom from the fear of threats. Threats means challenges. Threats means the problems which you face, which actually endangers your security. That is known to be what we call to be security. Security means freedom from the fear of threats. What I have written on the board here. So, terrorism is actually a part included from this part of the chapter. Clear? Now, this security, you know, there are two notions of security. Before going into the actual topic which is there in your syllabus, which has been a part of your syllabus now, you know, I will give you a brief introduction so that you can understand. So what I told you, what is freedom, what is security? Security means freedom from threats, where one person will be in a situation where he or she will not have this kind of a feeling that my security is going to be in a danger. Clear? Now, there are two notions of security. One is known as the traditional notion. Traditional means the classical ones, that means one which is existing from earlier times. One example of that is war. War, W-A-R, war. War is one of the best traditional examples. Traditional means ancient. Since ancient times, you know, there has been a problem of what? War. You have learnt about the First World War, the Second World War, the Cold War. Remember, these are all traditional notions or traditional concepts of security. Clear? Traditional means which existed from the ancient times. So security is actually divided into two types. One is the traditional notion, another one is the non-traditional or non-conventional, as you would call it. Clear? So, and non-traditional means, like for example, global security, as for example, you see like epidemics, then you talk about problems like overpopulation. These are problems which are a threat, not only to a country, but to the whole world. So security can be visualized from two perspectives. One is the traditional notion or the traditional concept of security. Another one is the non-traditional or the non-conventional. Now I will come up to the main part, which is a part of your syllabus, which is terrorism. So apart from the traditional and non-traditional notions of security, there are certain new sources of threats. There are certain new sources of threats which are also going to endanger your security. And under that new notion of threat, you are having terrorism. So terrorism is a new concept which is not included within either the traditional or the non-traditional concept of security. It is a new source of threat, a threat which is actually becoming a source of I'll say that it is a problem of the entire world, where the peace and security of the entire world is now under, I'll say that it is under a threat. So why I started from this particular concept of security, why I moved to that part of traditional and non-traditional concept of or notion of security, and then finally I have come to the topic which is a part of your reduced syllabus. It is terrorism. And you have to remember that terrorism does not fall either within traditional or non-traditional concept of security. It is a new source of threat. New source of threat to what? New source of threat to the security of a nation or of the entire world. And we have to accept this fact that terrorism has become one of the major threats to the peace and security of the world. You have known about, you have come to know about so many terrorist groups in the world. The other day when I was showing you that particular UN in the unipolar world, that UNO and its organization, I have one picture, I have shown you where Lebanon was attacked, the Hezbollahs, you know, they are also terrorist groups, the Al-Qaedas, they are also terrorist groups, the Talibanis, they are also terrorist groups, the ISIs, they are also terrorist groups, the LTTE in Sri Lanka the other day which I have discussed, they are also terrorist groups. So terrorism is actually a new source of threat to the global security. So it has been included as a part of your reduced syllabus. Now you have to remember that terrorism is not only affecting a single country, it has become a topic of concern for the entire world. Now from the PDF which has been provided to you from the board, clear? Now first of all we will see what do you mean by terrorism. So terrorism refers to systematic use of brutal violence that creates an atmosphere of fear. Here I have come to the word fear, and on the board I have written also, what do you mean by security? Security means freedom from fear of threats. So wherever there is a fear in your mind, remember you are feeling insecure. So terrorism has approached or appeared to be the major source of fear in the entire world, and it is accompanied by violence. You have learnt about so many incidents. You have learnt about the 9/11 terror attacks. You have recently learnt about that attack on in Maharashtra, that is in Mumbai, that is the Oberoi, the Taj Oberoi Hotel. You have heard the name of Ajmal Kasaf. What was that? That was nothing more than a terrorist attack, isn't it? So terrorist attacks, they are always accompanied by brutal violence, large scale killing of people, innocent killing of people. There is pandemonium, that means wild disorder, and the whole place, they are, I'll say that the place, the people, they are actually horrified. They are in a state of immense panic. It is used for various purposes, very primarily the politico-religious purpose. Yes, one of the major places, the major reason for the use of terrorism is mainly two reasons. One is for political reasons, and another one is obviously the religious reasons. That means you can find that terrorism has actually taken birth mainly among specific religions of the world, and many religions are now being associated with terrorist activities. But one thing I have to say you is that in fact this is very true, that associating one particular religion with one terrorist groups, that is very unfair, in the sense that from my side I'll tell you, terrorists, they don't have a religion, because if you have a religion, you will never go into those kinds of antisocial activities. Actually what they do is that, they try to convince, and usually if you see that these terrorist groups, they always target the young generation, the youth, and they target them in the name of either religion or in the name of either political factors. Clear? So terrorism is a new source of global threat to the security of the world. It is always accompanied by brutal violence, and together with that, the main reasons for terrorism has been actually associated with either politics or either it is with religion. Now, what are the broader meanings of terrorism? You have to go, I have asked you that please take out the PDF part which has been put on the official website of your school. So we'll see what is the broader meaning of terrorism. See, first one, a systematic use of terror, often violence, especially as a means of coercion. Coercion means force. So first of all, terrorism comes from the word terror. Terror means a threat, a fear in the minds of the people. Nowadays, we always are, we ordinary people, we are always having this kind of a fear that we never know that when a terrorist attack is going to be made. This is a terror, this is a fear. This is the important word which I have written on the board. That is fear. And it is always, I told you, it is very, very violent. As you know, that large scale killing is involved. And it uses force. It comes to power by means of force. The second one is violent acts which are intended to create fear. Again and again the same word. Here you see that either bombing is taking place or firing is taking place. Why? To create a sense of fear or terror in the minds of the people. are perpetuated for a religious, political, or ideological goal and deliberately target or disregard the safety of non combatants, that is, the civilians. And it is mainly used either in the name of religion, either in the name of a political reason, or in the name of a particular ideology. And what they do, they do nothing but to create a sense of fear in the minds of the people by the various violent acts they perform. If you try to recapitulate the situation which had taken place after the Taj attacks in Maharashtra, that is Mumbai, you will see that ordinary people of that area, they were under this kind of, I'll say that, terror, this kind of fear. They had to continue for a long period of time. And that is what actually the terrorist groups, they want. They want to imbue, they want to inculcate, they want to create that kind of fear in the minds of the ordinary people. That is actually why the terrorist groups use these kinds of violent activities. Then acts of unlawful violence and war. This is obviously unlawful, because no law of any country will permit these kinds of activities, because we know that they are unlawful. That is, they are not only illegal, they are also antisocial, because they are never expected in a normal society. So if you put them, all these 3 points together, you will get a broader meaning of what is known to be terrorism. There is not a single nation in the world that does not suffer from terrorism. Although some countries have tried to divide terrorism into good and bad terrorism, India has always denied this distinction. India's current Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also clarified that terrorism cannot be divided into good or bad. It is a global problem and should be combated collectively. Yes, some people, some countries of the world, what they have done, especially in the name of religion, they say that these terrorist groups are good because they are good for the people, the religion of that particular country, and these groups are bad. But as you know that our present Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he is against terrorism, and he says that terrorism can never be divided as good or bad, because terrorism itself is an evil activity. Terrorism in any of its shape, in any of its form, can never be a good activity. It is always horrible, it is always evil. Why? Because it involves violence, it involves the sacrifice, the killing of people in large numbers. And it is a global problem. Remember, it is not my problem, it is not your problem, it is not the problem of a particular nation. It is a collective problem, and it should be dealt with, means it should be combated. Combated means it should be fought, it should be overcome. How? By a collective effort. If I want to overcome terrorism alone, I can never be successful, isn't it? So it is a matter of a global concern, and all the people of the world, they must come up together. You have heard about so many activities where you have heard that these terrorist groups, they hijack planes. You have heard about them. You have heard about the 9/11 terror attacks. You have heard about the Twin Towers attack of USA, the trade centers, So terrorism in any of its form, it has now become a global concern, a matter of global concern. And so none of us can say that terrorism is a good activity in all its form. Remember, terrorism is evil and it has to be combated equally. And with that only we come to an end with this chapter on security in the contemporary world. So the questions which can come from this chapter, please do write them. Right? Name some Name some terrorist groups of the world. You can write many of them. I've told you so many of them. If it is a 1 mark answer, I will always advise you to write two groups. Why? Because sometimes one answer, half into half plus half, it is divided. So I will ask you always to give 2 for being on a better side. Okay. Next one, define terrorism. This will be for 2 marks. First of all, 2 marks, define terrorism, and in that sense you will have to write the terrorism is actually a sense of creating fear by the use of brutal violence. That one. This will be for 2 marks. Another one, please do write it. Next one, give the broader meaning of terrorism. This will be for 4 marks. And while writing this answer, the 3 points which I have discussed, you have to give that. This will be for 4 marks. Next one, what are regarded to be the main reasons for terrorism? The main reasons for terrorism. This will be for 2 marks, and the answer is, as I've told you, religious, political and ideological reasons. And next one, how can we combat, C-O-M-B-A-T, combat means fight or overcome, combat terrorism. This will be for 4 marks. Clear? And after this, I suppose only globalization chapter is left from this book, isn't it? Only globalization chapter will be left. Yes or no? Yes, Oshmita? Yes? Yes. I am very happy with Oshmita because she will be the first one to respond, and after that obviously there are many more, Rajlakshmi and others, those who also may give me responses. Yes, thank you very much. By next week I suppose I will be completing this chapter, this particular book. Thank you very much to all of you.